Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Tomatoes.
Watch the undead swimmer in their monkey boots.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Watch the undead swimmer in their monkey boots.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Pay the big cheese on your broth with a wheel of the good stuff. On the move.
Here lies Jacques, the oldest man in Sicil. Get off my grave, ye jackanapes. Here lies James, as usual, the filthy fibber. Will they have Sicil pie in the afterlife?
Pathetic!
Have mercy on your soul.
Here lies David, who ran from the Reaper. You'll never catch me alive. Here lies Nemris, master of philosophy.
Look here, even a sage and author as renowned as I is flattered when mortals dare among the dead to seek him out. Well, here I am, Nemris the Wise. You may go wide-eyed with amazement now. As if I need introduction. Nemris the thinker, the theorist, the visionary. Come now, surely you lack the time, as I do, for such silly questions. Oh, I've written so many celebrated treatises, but of course you have read and revered the philosophy of death, the diamond in the crown that is my literary legacy. There isn't a civilized soul alive that hasn't perused its profound pages percolating with perspicacity. Alas, that so few show an understanding of my words, so few show the expected intellectual growth when I put them to the test. You can, and indeed you must. But alas, I was not buried with a printed version of that blueprint of genius that is my inimitably esteemed essay. Never fear though, for each and every library in Revellon boasts a copy, the gilded cherry on their paper pie. Do you truly feel you are ready to prove that you have read and understood the philosophy of death? Your refusal speaks greater volumes than my 10-part tome on the mating behavior of feral dwarves. You dread the test. You fear it.
In memory of Loni, death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Move for cheese. That excuse is more hose than a slice of this fine Norman there.
A source hunter will always receive a warm welcome at the town hall of Sisal.
Back so soon? Can't say I'm surprised.
Hello again, adventurer. I hope you wiped those muddy boots on your way in. Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now. Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Aureus now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town. That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where. The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stetteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. Tujjageta, friend. Kiralisor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? I live for books, not brutality. So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Hashizm bil kushum zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do? Leg Fizoda! Yes, a capital notion. Let him be brought before the law for his schemes. I am an innocent, and Eglandir would see me dead. That is a grave offence, is it not? It would probably be better if you rather than I informed Captain Aureus, though. He bears little goodwill toward me ever since my more savage brethren have been marauding the beaches and killing his legionnaires. Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stetteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. The knight in see-through armour, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Sterntecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned.
The seventh branch of thunder!
Another fine. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urack! What mayhem! Volume 1, Volume 2, but where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. Volume 1, Volume 2, but where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armour, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Sterntecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armour, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Sterntecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. Volume 1, Volume 2, but where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armour, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Sterntecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Oh, rack! What mayhem!
The very fact that you seek me out once more is in itself a token of wisdom. Do you truly feel you are ready to prove that you have read and understood the philosophy of death? Then we shall proceed to test the mettle of your acumen forthwith. Between life and death, death is the greater force. So argues the clergyman. Is he correct?
Of course not.
Correct, he is not.
Let us proceed. Life is life's own goal, the question that is itself the answer. Good! Now I am unburdened of all worries, am I not?
I should say so, yes.
Agreed.
Last query. Boldly do I scorn the bonds of faith and fear. Death I dub thee life's equal. Is this my salvation or my undoing?
Your undoing.
So it is.
Hopes and up. A combination of words I have long since forgone to couple, let alone put into action. And before me stands a living proof why. Begone, ignoramus! Have you not insulted me enough? Such stupidity shall not go unpunished. Perhaps death itself shall teach you more about the philosophy of life.
A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. Projdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Sharp sword. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Ständigen. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Ständigen. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Ständigen. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
I've got my eyes on the prize.
The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Ständigen. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Ständigen. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Jageta, friend, Kiraliso. Does he not see? So, let us approach the situation with reason and our leg fizzle. It would probably be better if you, rather than I, informed Cap. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Sharp sword. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? Someone wants to see Victoria dead? That cherub of the book? That seraph of the library? Outrageous! Hear you me. You must stop that dog by any means necessary. As mayor of Sicil, you have my permission to take drastic measures if need be. No, all my clothes are in fine condition, thanks. I've been going to the same tailor for years. yes, the Fabulous Five. Aren't they simply fantastic? I'm sure they'll get the job done in no time, especially with your expert hand lent to their cause. That machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. I bet the wizard himself could provide some advice regarding how to destroy it. He's the mad scientist who crafted it after all.
The very fact that you seek me out, do you truly feel? Then we shall proceed to between life and death, death is the greater force. So argues the clergyman. Is he correct?
Of course not.
Correct, he is not.
Let us proceed. Life is life's own goal, the question that is itself the answer. Good! Now I am unburdened of all worries, am I not?
Not entirely, no.
I concur.
Last query. Boldly do I scorn the bonds of faith and fear. Death I dub thee life's equal. Is this my salvation or my undoing?
Your salvation.
Indeed.
Most impressive. Nothing short of miraculous. You have verily fathomed the message of my book. My undying respect is yours, to an extent. I may rest content in the knowledge that my legacy is in good hands. Ta-ta! I shall see you in the next life.
Toasty!
Greetings! These stalls are the Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving the seven.
You again? Come to throw my dinner to the wind again, have you?
I'm Chef Maurice, the one and only culinary connoisseur capable to make a dish for an army with little more than a single chicken.
Well, Source Hunter, you come to the right place, you have. I got every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. The Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving the seven.
Recruit! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine, the mayor's cat. What a delight she is. The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one. A perfect puss, if ever there was one. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. His body is gone, replaced with that of a sheep. This is all very disconcerting, to say the least. Grave robbery reeks of necromancy. Could Jake have been involved with those that raise the dead? It seems too improbable to be true, but nevertheless, you're onto something, Hunter. Do follow the scent and see where it leads you. I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grapevine into a rather disappointing meal, I'm afraid. They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before I myself have none. Even though the rest of the now it may well be established that she is in fact the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but let's just say that if I really thought this murder case would be so very easily resolved, I wouldn't have sent for source hunters. I can't say much more but that they're madmen, all the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry. And what might those be? One of them failed? Who is the mongrel that dares to question my engineering expertise? I take it the mutt in question was referring to the Sparkmaster 5000. It isn't failing, it just became... well, it became self-aware. Frightfully annoying when that happens. You know what? Here's the remote access device with which I used to control it. There's a manual for that somewhere around here, too. Yours, if you can find it. I really should invite Victoria one of these days, so she can help me organize my mess of a library. mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100% legally obtained, self-regenerating source of destructive magic to it, and Bobcat's your uncle. Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply must be. But even though I've spent many a night leaping from tree to rooftop, watching on as citizens stagger home from the inn or simply burn the midnight oil, I haven't spied a single soul worthy of true suspicion. The enemy is wily. They know us better than we know them, and they've found ways to avoid both detection and distrust. Yet I am somehow convinced that you may succeed where the Legion and I have failed. Call it instinct. You have a flair for understatements, Hunter. I'm sure they are but a minor nuisance in the eyes of a born warrior. But to the Legion they are green-skinned death incarnate. Until they conclude what mischief they intend to see through, or, less likely, they are conclusively defeated, we can but bar the gates and hole up like mice while the cats are on the prowl.
The Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Yes? Discovered anything? It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is. Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sicil. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? Buy the largest kipper in the land? He has a lot to answer for. But not as much as the one that did the bribing in the first place. Guess your mission is pretty clear, isn't it? Off you go to find this munificent body snatcher. You suspect the mayor? Dear me, you couldn't be further from the mark if you lay the blame on a paraplegic cow. The man raised a foundling orc out of the goodness of his heart, you dolt. A murder indeed. Dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Out! Before I have my men erect a gallows and string up a sauce pinata! Oh, what now? Oh, still not finished with that sorry matter? Well, have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If so, let's have it. It was stolen? Yes. Well, I assume it hasn't crawled back to its grave. So Evelyn? Master Theliron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide-and-seek with stiffs to me. Whom would you have the Legion arrest? So, he wants you to kill that savage the mayor calls his daughter, does he? Hardly seems a crime to do so. But I guess I cannot allow assassinations to take place. I won't arrest him unless I have some actual evidence, though. Or did you think I'd simply take your word for fact? As I suspected.
About face! Know about it? Not! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
How fares your first quest, hero and hunter? Fabulously exciting, I'll bet. Who? Tom? Doesn't ring a bell. Oh, hold on. Yes, of course, Tom. One of our most recent additions to the Fellowship. Brave kid, smart as a tack. He'll prove to be a wonderful addition to the family yet. You're to hunt down the automaton in the cave, remember? Oh, I had so hoped I could join you on this death-defying quest. You found new recruits already? Efficient, proactive. Oh, I like that. Send them to me and I'll sign them up. And of course, since they're your recruits, you'll get a share of every assignment they complete. Isn't that just fabulous?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lying in your pocket.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap dogfish.
Tell me, have you ever had the fortune of finding the fabled wizard of Hunter's End?
Horseshoes? Ha! He's so lucky. I haven't heard. Great!
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane.
Pay the big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Let's just say
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Get it while it's fresh! These patches only hours for the sea!
Look careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let us see if you can choose a finding dream! Where's Helen? Moving for fire!
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond there.
Glorious to see you once more, fair friend. I hope you've given some thought to my revelation. I think only of your eternal soul, after all. You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation with one who has, as yet, been lost. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus. By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye. Go on the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the conduit has great plans for you.
He says he's an immaculate. But I thought they'd been banished after the death of the Source King.
Ancient evils are like corpses among necromancers, girl. Sooner or later they get uprooted.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can open this. Ready to have another look?
On the mend.